All right, this is a trade journal for January the 27th. It's Tuesday. Yesterday I didn't really trade. I took a scratch on super small size in BBIG. I was trying to long it as I assumed it was going to bounce. It did, but timing was off. Cost about $50. I'm okay with that. Today I traded it as a bounce short. So from its run to 6, it collapsed all the way to 250s, and then it bounced all the way to 380s pre-market this morning, which meets the criteria for a bounce short. It bounced 50%, and it immediately looked weak out of the open. I really wanted it to go higher. I thought maybe it could go 450s, 5, and really set up, but guess not. So I did trade it. I put in a few thousand shares in the 370s, and I added 1,000 more when it slammed down in the early market open. And during that time, I was kind of conflicted a little bit because I think I want to stop shorting pre-market for the most part, but it just seemed so weak. Anyways, so I put 1,000 here, it slammed down, put 1,000 more, bounced up. I took 1,000 off because I kind of lost confidence for a minute, and then added it back on when it looked good. And then I took, where's the, man, I'm tired. Where are you? There it is. Yeah, then I took a quarter off here. I mean, so the bounce short criteria, I usually expect it to lose 50% of its bounce. That was 50% of its bounce, more or less, but it just looked so weak. So I took off a quarter, and then here, once it showed 330s, it failed. I just added that back on and added on some more shares, and then I covered it all into the low threes. And I even took one more late in the day. I threw 1,000 shares on here and covered it all up near the close. Nice trade, and really wish I had more size. I just really wanted it to go further. So this is like the bare minimum I expected it to bounce. So it's hard for me to mentally convince myself to do more size. This is a OTC stock that I had a lot of success in the summer. Back around here, I shorted it here, and then I shorted it here, and then I think I got even more here. It's really done a nice job of going through the framework. It had its original run, 2 to 10. It's a huge slam, then a huge bounce, then another huge slam, and then I left it alone more or less. This area down here at 420s was always the support. It was the support before its massive second leg. It was the support down here. It was nearly the support here. It was 460s. And then when it collapsed here, it really went all the way to the low threes. So this morning it had a big bounce day. They had some PR like 2 days ago. And I just can't see it getting above the 6s. I don't really think it's going to get above even 6 at all. Like up here in the 7s would be the highest, but I don't think it's going to go higher than the 6s. So I'll be watching this tomorrow. And I really wouldn't be surprised to see it back down here in a week or two. So not a A+ setup at all, but something I'm more or less quite confident in. I think this chart is pretty much dead. So I'll try that if it gives me a gap and push, and that would be a swing short all the way down to the 3s or lower. Other than that, there's nothing. I've been reviewing my biggest losers of 2020, and I'm rethinking my entry positions for multi-day runners because I clearly struggled with them in 2021, and I'm going to do a video on that next.